Hello everyone, good evening. So here we shall solve some more JEE Mains previous year questions on the chapter units and measurements. So any doubts if you have, please write that in the comments section. We shall obviously clarify them in the subsequent videos. Also in any other chapter of physics, if you have more difficulty, then please mention the name of that chapter in the comments section. So that we can give more priority on it and solve more and more questions on that chapter. Also, some important homework questions on every chapter will be uploaded in the Sapiens Education application. So please install our Sapiens Education application, whose link has been provided in the description. So here it is told a player kicks a football with an initial speed of 25 meter per second at an angle of 45 degree with from the ground. What are the maximum height and the time taken by the football to reach the highest point during motion? Take g equal to 10 meter per second square. So the maximum height that is reached, that will be u square sine square theta by 2g. So this will be u square, that is 25 square into sine square 45 degree by 2 into 10. So this will be 25 into 25 into sine 45, it is 1 by root 2 whole square by 20. So this will be 5 4s are 20, 5 5s are 25. So this will be 25 into 5, that is 125 by, this will be 2, 2 4s are 8, 125 by 8 meters. So which will be equal to 8 1s are 8, 45, 6 is a 48, 5 is a 40, and 5 by 8, so 6 is a 48, 20, 2 is a 16, 5 is a 40. So the maximum height is 15.625 meters, and the time taken by the football to reach at the highest point, so which is obviously half of the time of flight, which will be u sine theta by g, which is the time of maximum height, that is time of maximum height, that is tm. So that will be u sine theta by g. So that will be 25 into sine 45 divided by g, that is 10. So this 5 to the 10, 5 5 is 25. So that is 5 by 2 into 1 by root 2. Or I can say this will be 5 by 2 into root 2 by 2. Or this I can say this is 10 by 4. So this will be root 2 into 10, that is 14.14 divided by 8. So which is approximately 8 ones are 8, 61. So 7 8 is 56. 8 8 is 64, 7 8 is 56, and 54, 7 8 is 56. So it is approximately 1.77 seconds. So it means that option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told that a bomb is dropped by a fighter plane flying horizontally to an observer sitting in the plane. The trajectory of the bomb is so a bomb is drawn by the fighter plane flying horizontally to an observer sitting in the plane. The trajectory of the bomb will be. So to an observer in the plane, the bomb will fall vertically downwards in a straight line, and to an observer on the ground, it will appear to fall in a parabolic path. So it will fall in a straight line vertically down the plane. Option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told a ball is thrown up with a certain velocity so that it reaches a certain height h, and find the ratio of the two different times of the ball reaching h by 3 in both the directions, and the ratio of the two different times. So let's say at time t1 it reaches the height h by 3, and so it will reach the height h by 3 while going up also and while coming down also. So while going up, let's say the time taken is t1 to reach the height h by 3, and while coming down, let's say it is t2. It so the time it takes is t2 to reach the height h by 3 while coming down. So therefore, here you can say that the final velocity is 0 when it reaches the highest point. So we can say that s equal to ut plus half at square. Now let's say we take the vertically upwards as the positive direction of y-axis, and so downwards is the negative direction of y-axis. So therefore the displacement is upwards h by 3, which is equal to u into t plus, and g is acting vertically downwards, so acceleration is minus g into t square. And u, as we know, u, we can say v square equals to u square plus minus 2gh. So therefore h is actually equal to u square by 2g, since v is 0. So from here we can say that half gt square minus ut minus half gt square minus ut plus h by 3. So h by 3 will be u square by 6g, that is equal to 0. So from here we can find out the two roots of this quadratic equation in t. So therefore t will be equal to minus b, which is minus u, plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac plus 4a half g into c. C is u square by 6g minus 4ac by 2a. A is half g. So therefore t will be equal to u plus or minus square root of g will cancel. 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, plus or minus square root of u square minus u square by 3 divided by g, which is u plus or minus, this is u square into 1 minus 1 by 3, that is 2 by 3, which is square root of 2 u square by 3 divided by g. So therefore t1, that will be the time interval it takes while going up. So t1 will be obviously less than t2. So for t1 we should take the negative sign, which is u minus root 2 by 3 u by g, and t2 that will be equal to obviously u plus this plus sign we have to take, since t1 should be less than t2 obviously. So u plus root over 2 by 3 u by g. So now therefore t1 by t2 we have to find the ratio of the two different times. So t1 by t2, so that will be equal to u by g into 1 minus root 2 by root 3 by, this is u by g into 1 plus root 2 by root 3. So u by g will cancel out. This will come root 3 minus root 2 by root 3 plus root 2. So it means that option C is the correct answer. Then it is told the relation between time t and distance x for a moving body is given as the relation between time t and the distance x for a moving body is given as t equals to mx square plus nx, where m and n are constants. The the retardation of the motion is the retardation we have to find. So retardation, it means it is the negative of acceleration, which is actually minus of d square x by dt square, that we have to find. Or we can also do this is minus v dv by dx, that also we can find. So from here we can find dt by dx, that is actually equal to 1 by v, that will be equal to 2 mx plus n. So therefore v will be equal to 1 by 2 mx plus n, so which is a function of x. So therefore dv by dx we can find, that will be equal to is minus 1 by 2 mx plus n whole square into 2m. So it means it is minus 2m into v square, minus 2m into v square. So therefore the the retardation that is the negative of the acceleration, which is minus dv by dx. So that will be minus v into dv by dx, that is minus 2mv square. So this will be equal to 2mv cube. 2mv cube. So option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told a balloon was moving upwards. A balloon was moving upwards with a uniform velocity 10 meter per second. An of object of finite mass is dropped from the balloon when it was at a height of 75 meter from the ground level. So an object having finite mass is dropped when this balloon was at a height of 75 meter from the ground. You have to take the value of g, which is acting downwards, as 10 meter per second square. Then the height of the balloon from the ground, the height of the balloon from the ground when the object strikes the ground was around. So when the object will hit the ground, it will again cover some more distance x upwards, some more distance x upwards it will cover. So the height of the balloon from the ground when object strikes the ground. So it means we have to find out this h plus x. How much is the height of the balloon when the object strikes the ground? So h will be equal to h plus x, that we have to find out. Now when the object of finite mass is dropped from the balloon, then it was having an initial velocity u which is upwards. So then how much time it will take to reach the ground? The time it will take to reach the ground. So that is we can say displacement, that is equal to ut plus half at square. Now if we take the vertically downwards as the positive direction, then upwards will be negative direction. So therefore the the displacement of the object is h, that is equal to u will be minus 10, since y it is upwards. So, 10 into t plus half gt square, which is half into 10 into t square. So then we have to find out the time t. So therefore h is 75, that is equal to minus 10t plus 5t square. So therefore we can say 5t square minus 10t, 5t square minus 10t minus 75, that is equal to 0. So therefore t will be equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac. So it will be plus 4 into 5 into 75 c by 2a, 2 into 5. So now this value is more than 10. So since t can't be negative, the time interval can't be negative. So this negative sign we have to exclude. So then we will get 10 plus square root of 100 plus 4 5 is 20, that is, so 2 into 75, that is 150 into 10, that is 100 by 10. So this will be 10 plus or minus, no, 10 plus, yeah, this is 10 plus square root of 1600 by 10. So 10 plus this will be square root of 1600 is 40 by 10. So this will be 50 by 10, that is 5 seconds. So it means the object will reach the ground in t equal to 5 seconds. Now in 5 seconds, the balloon also will cover a distance x vertically upwards. So now therefore this x will be equal to u into t, since it is moving with a constant velocity upwards. So this will be equal to u, that is 10 meter per second into 5. So that is 50 meters. So the height from the ground level of the height of the balloon from the ground level when the object hits the ground, that will be h plus x, that is h is 75 meters plus 50 meters, that will be equal to 125 meters. So 125 meters, option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told the instantaneous velocity of a particle moving in a straight line is given as v equal to alpha t plus beta t square, where alpha and beta are constants. The distance traveled by the particle between 1 second and 2 seconds is, the distance traveled by the particle between 1 second and 2 seconds is, so therefore the distance traveled, so here v is a function of time, therefore the distance traveled by the particle, distance traveled by the particle will be, that is s, that will be equal to integral v dt from t equal to 1 second to t equal to 2 seconds. So this will be equal to alpha t plus beta t square into dt integral 1 to 2. So this will be equal to alpha into t dt, that is equal to t square by 2, plus this will be beta t square into dt, that is t cube by 3, and this we have to integrate from 1 to 2. So therefore the distance traveled, that will be equal to alpha by 2 into 2 square plus beta by 3 into 2 cube minus alpha by 2 into 1 square, that is 1, plus 1 cube, that is also 1, so plus beta by 3. So this will be equal to 4 alpha by 2 minus alpha by 2 plus 8 beta, no, yeah, 2 for the 8 beta by 3 minus beta by 3. So this will be 3 alpha by 2 plus 7 beta by 3. 3 alpha by 2 plus 7 beta by 3. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told water droplets are coming from an open tap at a particular rate. The spacing between a droplet observed at fourth second, the spacing in between a droplet observed at fourth second after its fall to the next droplet is 34.3 meters. At what rate the droplets are coming from the tap? So the water droplets are coming at a particular rate. So let's say the the time interval in, so it is coming at a particular rate. It means the time interval in between two consecutive drops will be same. Let's say that is delta t. So let's say this delta t is the time interval in between two successive drops, or I can say two consecutive drops, in between two consecutive drops. So delta t is the time interval in between two consecutive drops. So let's say the first drop is spacing between a droplet observed at fourth second. So it is dropped at t equal to 0, and at t equal to 4 it will reach somewhere here. The spacing between a droplet observed at 4 seconds after its fall to the next droplet, So it means at t equal to 4 seconds, this first droplet will reach here, and the second droplet will reach somewhere here, and at t equal to 4 seconds. So at t equal to 4 seconds, the second droplet, the droplet number 2, this is droplet number 1. So the for droplet number 2, the time interval t2, that is 4 second minus delta t, 4 minus delta t. Now this gap, this the distance in between these two droplets, that is 34.3 meters. Then at what rate the droplets are coming from the tap, that we have to find out. Simply it means this delta t we have to find out. So now therefore let's say g we have to take it as 9.8 meter per second square. So let's say the first drop will cover a distance x1, and the second drop will cover a distance x2. Uh, then x1 minus x2, that is equal to 34.3 meters. Then from here this delta t we have to find out. Now therefore the x1 we can say, since the first drop has traveled for 4 seconds, so s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now since they are dropped, so u will be equal to 0, and acceleration will be g, since g is acting vertically downwards. So x1 will be equal to half gt square. x1 So x1 will be equal to half g t square, t is 4 square, and x2, that will be equal to half g into 4 minus delta t whole square. So now therefore x1 minus x2, that is half g into 4 square, half g into 4 square minus half g into 4 minus delta t whole square, that is equal to 34.3 meters. Then delta t we have to find out. So therefore this is okay, this is 16, so 2 8 is 16, so 8g minus this will be half g into this will be 4 4 is 16 plus delta t square minus 2 4 is 8 8 delta t, that is equal to 34.3. So therefore this will be 8g minus 8g minus g delta t square by 2 minus 4g delta t. 2 4 is 8 4g delta t, sorry, this will be plus minus of minus, that is plus. So this is equal to 34.3. So 8g will cancel out. So from here we can see this will come, this is half g delta t square minus 4g delta t plus 34.3, that is equal to 0. So therefore delta t that we can find, that will be equal to minus b, which is 4g plus or minus square root of b square and this delta t should be obviously less than 4. This delta t should be obviously less than 4 and more than 0. Then if some value of delta t comes which is more than 4 or less than 0, then we have to neglect that. So minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac, which is 4a into c, 34.3 by 2a. Okay. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Then from here we will get 2 to the 4. Okay. This will be equal to 4g plus or minus, or we can write this will be equal to 4 plus or minus, this is 4g square, g square I can take it outside, so this will be g by, so this will be 16 minus 2 into 34.3 divided by g, since we can write it g square by g, that is 9.8. So it means 4 plus something is coming. So this plus sign we have to, so this plus answer we have to neglect it, since uh, why this time interval can't be more than 4. So this plus part we have to cancel it. So the answer will be, so the time interval delta t will be 4 minus 16 square, no sorry, 4 4 just 16, 4 4 this will be 16 only, not 16 square. 16 minus 2 into, now 9.8 into 34.3 divided by 9.8, so this is 343 by 98. So with 98 if we divide it, 343 divided by 98, so this will be, it will cancel with 7 twos of, okay, or we can first cancel with 2 4.9, 2 4 is 8, 9 is 18, so 343 divided by 49, so 7 7s are 49, 7 4s are 28, 7 9s are 63, so 7 7s are 49, so this will be 7, 16 minus 7, that is equal to 9, so this is 4 minus root over 9, that is 3, 4 minus 3, that is equal to 1. So it means the time interval in between two successive drops is 1 second. So it means what? The time interval in between two successive drops is 1 second. So it means the time interval in between three successive drops is 2 seconds. So it means I can say two drops in 1 second. Two drops in 1 second. So option B is the correct answer. So but three drops in 2 seconds. Two drops. The time interval in between two successive drops is 1 second. Yeah, two. Only four drops will fall in 3 seconds. Then three drops. Okay. The time interval in between two successive drops is 1 second. So I can say one drop per second. It means one drop every second. Means one drop has fallen and then the next drop will come down. The next drop will start. It means that if the first drop drops at t equal to 0, the next drop will fall at t equal to 1 second. So it means I can say that one drop every second. Means w- w- one drop will fall after every 1 second. So I can say one drop per second. One drop per second. So it means option 3, option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told that a boy reaches the airport and finds that the escalator is not working. A boy reaches the airport and finds that the escalator is not working. He walks up the stationary escalator in time t1. In time t1, he walks up the stationary escalator. If he remains stationary on a moving escalator, if he remains stationary on a moving escalator, then the escalator takes him up in time t2 seconds. So it means of okay, then the time taken by him to walk up the moving escalator will be. So let's say his walking speed is, so the length that he will cover, let's say that is L. The length that he has to cover, that is L. So when, so in the first case we have a stationary escalator, stationary escalator. And in the second case, we have a moving escalator. And in the third case, we have walking along with moving escalator. So in the second case, he is at rest. He's at rest and on a moving escalator. And here he is walking on a stationary escalator. And in the third case, he is walking on a moving escalator. Escalator. So here, let's say the time taken will be t. So that time we have to find out. So let's say, so walking speed, his walking speed is his walking speed. Let's say it is v1, that will be equal to L by t1, and the speed of the speed of the moving escalator, that is equal to, let's say, v2, that will be equal to L by t2. And when he is walking on a moving escalator, therefore his his resultant speed when he walks on a moving escalator, escalator, that will be, let's say, that is v will be equal to v1 plus v2. Now this v will be equal to L by t, and that will be equal to v1 plus v2, that is equal to L by t1 plus L by t2. Now L we can cancel out, so therefore I can say 1 by t, that will be equal to 1 by t1 plus 1 by t2. So therefore 1 by t, that will be equal to t1 plus t2 by t1 t2. So therefore t will be equal to t1 t2 by t1 plus t2, t1 t2 by t1 plus t2. So the time taken by him to walk up the moving escalator will be t1 t2 by t1 plus t2. So option C is the correct answer. Then it is told a butterfly is flying with a velocity of 4 root 2 meter per second in northeast direction. So this is north, this is east. So it is moving in like this with a speed, let's say v1, let's say, that is 4 root 2 meter per second in the northeast direction, and wind is blowing at 1 meter per second from north to south. So this is the velocity of the wind, that is, let's say, v2. So v2 will be 1 meter per second. The resultant displacement of the butterfly in 3 seconds is, so therefore its resultant speed, its resultant velocity, that would be equal to, this is so v1 I can take, this is 45 degree with the x-axis and 45 degree with the y-axis also. So this will be v1 vector plus v2 vector. So v1 vector, its component is v1 cos 45 along x-axis and v1 sin 45 along y-axis. So cos 45 is equal to sine 45, and cos 45 is same, which is equal to 1 by root 2. So therefore v1 is actually 4 I cap plus 4 j cap, and plus v2, that is 1 minus j cap. So this will be 4 I cap plus 3 j cap. So this much meter per second. It is the um, resultant velocity of the uh, butterfly. This is the resultant velocity of the butterfly. Then what will be the displacement of the butterfly in 3 seconds. So displacement will be equal to v resultant into time. Since why here acceleration is 0, acceleration is 0, so therefore s will be equal to v into t. So that will be equal to 4 I cap plus 3 j cap into the time interval is 3 seconds. So this much meters. Now we have to find its magnitude. Therefore, S, the magnitude of the displacement of the butterfly, so that will be 3 into 4 I cap plus 3 j cap, this much meters, its magnitude. So this will be equal to 3 into magnitude of this, which will be 5. So this is 15 meters. 15 meters. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told the velocity displacement graph of a particle is shown in the figure. The acceleration displacement graph of the same particle is represented by. So here v is a, here velocity is a linear function of the displacement. So here we can say that uh, v by v naught plus x by x naught, that is equal to 1. So it means v by v naught, that is equal to 1 minus x by x naught. So v equals to actually v naught minus v naught by x naught into x. So this is the function of the ve velocity versus x. From the graph we can see, since y the x intercept is x naught and the y intercept is v naught, so I can say v by v naught plus x by x naught, that is equal to 1. So this will be the equation of the velocity as a function of x. So this will be the equation of the velocity as a function of x. So now therefore the acceleration that is given as v dv by dx. So now therefore we can find dv by dx at first. So this will be 0 minus v on v naught by x naught. So therefore acceleration that will be equal to v, that is v naught minus v naught by x naught into x into dv by dx, that is equal to v naught by x naught, which is minus v naught by x naught. So this will be equal to v naught by x naught whole square into x minus v naught square by x naught. So this is the acceleration as a function of x. So it is so the graph of acceleration versus x it will have a positive slope, and at x equal to x naught, at x equal to x naught, acceleration also will be 0, and for x equal to 0, acceleration will be negative, which is minus v naught square by x naught, and it is having a positive slope, so the graph will be somewhat like this. This is minus v naught square by x naught, and this is at x naught. So it means option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told the position, velocity, and acceleration of a particle moving with a constant acceleration can be represented by the position, velocity, and acceleration of a particle moving with a constant acceleration. So acceleration is constant. Here it is told acceleration is constant. So therefore the graph of acceleration versus time will be a straight line, which is parallel to the time axis. And so acceleration is constant, let's say that is a naught. So therefore v will be equal to u plus at. V will be equal to u plus a naught into t. So the graph of velocity versus time will be a straight line, will be a straight line. If acceleration is If acceleration is greater than 0, then the slope of vt graph will be a positive slope. So it will be like this. And x will be equal to x naught plus ut plus half a naught into t square. So it means the graph of x versus t will be a parabola. It will be a parabola which will start from x naught. So it means that it will not be a straight line. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told the velocity of a particle is v equals to v naught plus gt plus ft square. Its position is x equal to 0 at t equal to 0. Then its displacement after time t equals to 1 is. The velocity is v equals to v naught plus gt plus ft square. It's so at t equal to 0, the position x is equal to 0. Then its displacement after time t equal to 1 is. So we have to find the displacement, it is s, or I can say x at t equal to 1 second, that we have to find out. Now v is equal to dx by dt, as we know, v equal to dx by dt. So therefore dx will be equal to integral v dt integral. So at time t equal to 0 to t, and this will be integrated from 0 to x. Since at t equal to 0, x is 0 only. So x will be equal to integral v dt. So it is integral 0 to t v naught plus gt plus ft square. This into dt. So this we have to integrate. So therefore x will be equal to v naught t plus half gt square. Since integral t dt is t square by 2, plus this will be 1 by 3 f t cube, since t square integral is t cube by 3. So this will come. So now therefore the value of x at t equal to 1 second, that will come as, this will be plus v naught plus g by 2 plus f by 3. v, v naught plus g by 2 plus f by 3. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told a rubber ball is released from a height of 5 meter above the floor. At a height of 5 meter above the floor, a rubber ball is released. It is u equal to 0. It bounces back repeatedly. It bounces back repeatedly after rising to 81 by 100 of the height through which it falls. It means in the first case it will reach a height of h1, that is 81 by 100 into 5 meters. Find the average speed of the ball, always rising up to 81 by 100 of the height to which it falls. The average speed of the ball. So therefore average speed, how to find average speed, that is equal to the total distance by total time. Total distance divided by total time. So how much time it will take to cover this height h? That will be equal to h will be equal to half gt square. So t will be equal to root over 2h by g. So let's take this factor 81 by 100 as uh, let's say k. So h1 that will be equal to 5 times k. So the total distance traveled that will be equal to h plus h1, that is h, that is 5, right? So initially it is released from a height of 5 meter above the floor. So it is 5 plus 5k into 2, plus again it will reach a height h2. It will reach a height h2 which is equal to 5k into k, that is 5k square. So that will be 5k square into 2, plus again this will be 5k cube into 2, and so on. Divided by to- the total time that it will take. G is 10, so the initial time that it will take, that is 2 into 5 divided by 10, so that is 1 second. It will take 1 second, and then it will take t will be equal to t1, that will be equal to 2 into root over 2 h1 by g, so that is 2 into root over 2 into 5k by 10, so this is 2 root k. 2 root k is 2 root k, plus again it will come t2, that will be 2 into root over 2 h2 that is 5k square. So 2 into 5k square by 10, that is k square, so that will be 2k. So this will be 2k plus this will be 2k root k, and so on. And this k value is less than 1. So it is coming a GP. Actually, it is coming a GP. So therefore, the average speed that will be equal to 5 plus this is 10k plus this 10k square plus 10k cube plus dot dot till infinity, divided by this will be 1 plus 2 root k plus 2 root k plus 2k plus 2k root k till infinity. Now this will be 5 plus uh this is a GP having this is so a- as we know, sum of an infinite GP how to find, which is a plus ar plus ar square plus dot dot till infinity. If the absolute value of this common ratio r is less than 1, then this sum will be equal to a by 1 minus r. So here the first term is 10k and the common ratio is k. First term is 10k and the common ratio is k, which is less than 1. K is equal to, here it is 81 by 100, means it is 0.81. So it is obviously less than 1. So here we can use this formula for sum of an infinite GPs. So that is 10k by 1 minus k divided by this is also 1 plus this is the sum. The first term is 2 root k and the common ratio is root k. So 2k by 1 minus root k. So this will become the average speed which we have to find out. So this is 5 plus 10k, that is 10 into 0.81 divided by 1 minus 0.81 by 1 plus 2 into, now root k will be root over 0.81, that is 0.9. So 2 into 0.9 by 1 minus 0.9. So this will be equal to 5 plus 8.1 by 1 minus 8.1, that is 1.00 minus 0.81, that is 9. This is 9.1, that is 0.19. 0.19 divided by 1 plus 2 into 9, that is 2 into 0.9, which is 1.8, by 1 minus 0.9, that is 0.1. So this will be 5 plus 810 by 19 divided by, this will be 18 plus 1, that is 19. So this will be 19 fives, 19 fives are 5 nines are 45, that is 95. So 95 plus 810, that is 5, 10, 905. It is 905 by 19 square, which is approximately 905 divided by 19 into 19. So 900 divided by 19 into 19, which is approximately 400. Approximately 19 into 19 is 400. Since 20 square is 400, so 19 square, that will be like 361, like that, 361. So it will be approximately like 2 point something, 2 point something, like 2.5, you can tell. So 905 divided by 361, that is ap approximately 2.507 meter per second. So option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told a car accelerates from rest at a constant rate alpha for some time, after which it decelerates at a constant rate beta to come to rest. If the total time elapsed is t seconds, the total distance traveled is. So let's say if we draw a velocity versus time graph, then so it starts from rest. So it initial velocity u equal to 0 only, and first it accelerates for a time, for some time. Let's say till time t equal to t1. So here the acceleration is alpha, means the slope is alpha. So here v equal to alpha t, and then it decelerates at a constant rate beta to come to rest. So here at time t equal to, let's say, t2, it comes to rest. Here also final velocity will be 0. And here, let's say the maximum velocity is v1, suppose. So it means that from here to here, means the function of the velocity is equal to alpha t for t from 0 to t1, and from t1 to t2, the function will be v1 minus beta t, since its deceleration is beta here. Here there is a constant deceleration from t1 to t2. So therefore the total distance traveled is, now therefore the total distance traveled equal to the total displacement also here in this case, since the car is not changing its direction of motion. The car is moving in the same direction throughout its journey, so it is not changing its direction of motion. So the total distance traveled by the car will be equal to its total displacement also, and that will be equal to the area under the velocity time graph, area under the vt graph. So area under vt graph, so it is obviously a triangle, so we can say that it is half base into height. It is half into base, that is T1 into height. Height is V1. So this we have to find out. Now V1, how to find? V1 will be equal to U plus AT. So it is alpha T1. And from here we can find out this, sorry, this will be T2 into V1. If the, here it is told if the total time elapsed is T. So it means this T2 is same as T only actually. So here we can take it as T. Instead of taking T2, we can take it T. So half into T into V1, and V1 is alpha into T1. Now we can say from T1 to T, the deceleration is uh, is beta. The deceleration is beta. So we can say V1 minus, actually it will be beta into T minus T1. Since the time interval from here we should take, so that is T minus T1. So V1 minus beta into T minus T1. Let's call it as T dash. This will be T dash then. Okay. So V1 minus beta into T minus T1, that is U minus AT, U plus AT, that will be equal to 0. Since why? Since the velocity equal to 0 at time t equal to t, at time t equals to t. So therefore from here we can say V1 that is equal to beta into T minus T1. Beta into T minus T1. So therefore we can say that alpha T1 that is equal to beta into T minus T1. Therefore alpha by beta into T1 that will be equal to T minus T1. So therefore T1 into alpha by beta plus 1 that will be equal to T. So T1 that will be equal to beta T by alpha plus beta. That is beta T by alpha plus beta. Therefore, the total distance traveled that will be equal to half into V1 into T. Half into V1 into T. So that is, okay, so this is, yeah, so, and V1, so therefore V1 is alpha T1, therefore V1 I can say that is alpha beta T by alpha plus beta. So that is half into alpha beta T by alpha plus beta into T. So that will be alpha beta T square by 2 alpha plus beta. Alpha beta T square, alpha beta T square by 2 alpha plus beta. So option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told uh, mosquito is moving with a velocity 0.5 t square I cap plus 3t j cap plus 7 plus 9 k cap meter per second, and acceleration is and accelerating in uniform conditions. Accelerating in uniform conditions. What will be the direction of mosquito after t seconds? After 2 seconds. What will be the direction of mosquito after 2 seconds? So at t equal to 2 seconds, the direction of the mosquito, the velocity that will be equal to 0.5 into 2 square, that is 4 I cap plus 3 into 3 into 2 j cap plus 9 k cap meter per second. So that will be 4 5 20. So this is 2 I cap plus 6 j cap plus 9 k cap meter per second. This is the velocity. Now, therefore, the angle which it will make with the x-axis, that is alpha. Let's say the this direction of the velocity, it makes angle alpha with the x-axis and angle beta with the y-axis and angle gamma with the z-axis. So then alpha will be equal to tan inverse, no, alpha will be actually cos inverse. We can say, we can use these direction angles to find the direction cosines. So cos alpha will be equal to, that is the x component, 2 by square root of 2 square plus 6 square plus 9 square. So which will be 2 by square root of 4 plus 36 plus 81. So this is 40 plus 81, that is 121. So this is 2 by 11. Root over 121 is 11. So cos alpha is 11. Similarly, therefore cos beta, that is 6 by 11, and cos gamma is 9 by 11. Now therefore, now with x-axis or y-axis only you have to find. So this cos gamma is not required. Now therefore, tan alpha will be square root of 1 minus cos square alpha by cos alpha. Since y, this will be sin alpha by cos alpha. Sin alpha, so this will be square root of 1 minus 2 by 11 whole square by 2 by 11. So this will be root over 11 square, that is 121 minus 2 by 11 by 2 by 11. So that is equal to 11 cancel. That is root over 100. So sorry, this will be 4. So this will be 117 root over 117 by 2. So this will be 13 nines are 117. 3 nines are 27. So this will be 3 root 13 by 2. And with y-axis, that is tan beta, that will be equal to tan beta, that is root over 1 minus cos square beta by cos beta. So this is square root of 1 minus 6 by 11 whole square divided by 6 by 11. So this will be square root of 121 minus 6 is a 36 by 6. So this will be 5, 4. Okay, so root 85 by 6. So therefore with y-axis it will make, tan inverse of root over 85 by 6 angle. Since this will be equal to the angle beta that it will make with the y-axis. So option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told the velocity displacement graph describing the motion of bicycle is shown in figure. The acceleration displacement graph of the bicycle's motion is best described by. Now here, as we can see, the velocity that is equal to u plus at. A is the change in velocity by time interval. So 40 by 200. Okay. Sorry, so this is actually, so the velocity versus displacement graph is somewhat like this. So from x equal to 0 to x equal to 200, this point is 10, this point is 0 comma 10, this point is 200 comma 50. So therefore it will be y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1, that is equal to m, that is 50 minus 100, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1, it is 0. So v minus 10, that is equal to 40 by 200, 40x by 200. So 4 5s are 20. So therefore v will be equal to 10 plus x by 5. V will be equal to 10 by x plus x by 5. So therefore the velocity as a function of x, that is given as it, which is 10 plus x by 5 for x greater than 0 and less than 200. X will be greater than 200 but less than 400. Then in this range, the value of the velocity is 50. Hmm. Therefore, the acceleration, now therefore acceleration, as we know, that is v dv by dx. So now dv by dx, that will be equal to in this interval, that is, so from here dv by dx, that will be equal to 1 by 5. So dv by dx is 1 by 5 when x is from 0 to 200, and when x is from 200 to 400, then acceleration is 0 since the velocity is constant. So it means the graph of okay, so now acceleration graph, acceleration function, that will is v dv by dx, that is v into, okay, 10 plus x by 5 into 1 by 5 for x for 0 to 200, and x from 200 to 400, the value will be 0 only. V, that is 50 into 0, that is 0 only. So acceleration will be actually, that will be 2, 5 to the 10, 2 plus x by 25 when x is from 0 to 200, and that will be 0 from x will be 200 to 400. So the acceleration, it is also a linear function of x. So it will be somewhat like this. So option A is the correct answer. And here it is told a scooter accelerates from rest at time for time t1 at constant rate a1, and then retards at constant rate a2 for time t2 and comes to rest. So here it is told a scooter, suppose if you draw its velocity versus time graph, it accelerates from rest, means its initial velocity is 0. It accelerates from rest for time t1, from 0 to t1, acceleration is a1, and then retards again at a constant rate for time t2. So here this time is t equal to t1 plus t2. So this time interval is t2. So it accelerates, retards for it retards at a constant rate. So so this a2 is the constant retardation, and then it comes to rest at t1 plus t2. The correct value of t1 by t2 will be, Now, therefore, here, let's say the maximum velocity is v1. So you can say v1 will be equal to 0 plus a1 into t1. And we can also say here the final velocity is 0. So v will be equal to u plus at. So u is v1. v1 minus a2. Since a2 is the retardation, it means that the acceleration here is minus a2. So it is minus a2 into t minus t1. At any time t, the final velocity will be v. So at t equal to t1 plus t2, the final velocity is 0. So therefore I can say 0 will be equal to v1 minus a2 into t2. Therefore v1 equal to a2 t2. So therefore v1 equal to a1 t1 and a2 t2 also. Now t1 by t2 I have to find. Therefore v1 that is equal to a1 t1, that is equal to a2 t2 also. Then a1 by a2, so t1 by t2 I have to find. So t1 by t2 that will be equal to a1 is a2 by a1. a2 by a1. So option C is the correct answer. Here it is told the trajectory of a projectile in a vertical plane is y equals to alpha x uh, minus beta x square, where alpha and beta are constants and x and y are respectively the horizontal and vertical distances of the projectile from the point of projection. The angle of projection theta and the maximum height attained h are respectively given by. So when a projectile is thrown, then in a vertical plane, if it is its initial velocity is u and its angle of projection is theta, then we know that its equation of trajectory, that is how to find its equation of trajectory is, so x component of initial velocity is u cos theta, which will always remain constant, and y component is u sine theta. Then the maximum height that is given as u square sine square theta by 2g, where g is the acceleration due to gravity, and the equation and x will be equal to always u cos theta into t, and y will be equal to u sine theta into t minus half gt square. And from here we can say t will be equal to x by u cos theta. So if we put in place of t here, then we will get the equation of trajectory of the projectile. So therefore so y we will get u sine theta into t is x by u cos theta minus half gt square, half g into x by u cos theta whole square, x by u cos theta whole square. So therefore this we will get x tan theta minus g by 2 u square cos square theta into x square. So therefore uh, here we have the equation of trajectory is alpha x minus beta x square. So therefore if we compare these two equations, then we can get, say, so tan theta is equal to alpha. So therefore the angle of projection theta will be equal to tan inverse of alpha. So this is the angle of projection, and g by 2 u square cos square theta, that is equal to beta. So g by 2 u square cos square theta is beta. Then maximum height we have to find out. So tan theta is alpha. So we can say cos square, now cos sine square theta, that you can say sine square theta, that will be equal to uh, cos square theta into tan square theta. So from here cos square theta, we can say that is g by 2 u square beta. Cos square theta is to g by 2 u square beta, and tan square theta will be equal to alpha square. So this will be equal to g by 2 u square beta into alpha square. So therefore now the maximum height we have to find out. So now therefore the maximum height, that will be equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. So that will be u square by 2g into sine square theta, that is g by 2 u square beta into alpha square. So g will cancel, u square will cancel. Then we will get alpha square by 4 beta. Alpha square by 4 beta, it is the maximum height. Alpha square by 4 beta is the maximum height, and the angle of projection is tan inverse alpha. So option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told a stone is dropped from the top of a building. A stone is dropped from the top of a building. So when it crosses a point P, which is 5 meter below the top, then another stone starts to fall from a point 25 meter below the top. When it crosses point P, then another stone starts to fall from a point, let's say Q, from a point 25 meter below the top. 25 meter. This is H2, suppose. This is H1, suppose. Okay. Let's say this is X1, this is X2. Okay. Then, and both stones reach the bottom of the building simultaneously. And the height of the building is height of the building that we have to find out. So both the stones reach the bottom of the building simultaneously. It means this distance is h minus 25. So this is equal to, and g is acting vertically downwards. So h minus 25, I can say that is equal to half g into t square. Half g t square. Let's say the time interval for which the second stone falls is is t. It is dropped at t equal to 0 here. Now here, when the first stone will reach, here it will attain some velocity u, and this u will be equal to v square equal to 0, and here its initial velocity was 0 only. So u square equal to v square equal to u square plus 2as, which is 2g into x, which is 5 meters. So u square, that is equal to 10g. So u equal to root over 10g. 10g means root over 100. So let's take g as 10 meter per second square. So u will be equal to 10. So therefore I can tell when it crosses a point 5 meter below the top, another stone starts to fall from a point 25 meter below the top. So it means the length which the first stone has to cover in the same time interval t, this will be equal to h minus 5 meters. H minus 5 meters it has to cover. So then I can say that h minus 5 that will be equal to ut, that is 10 into t plus half gt square. The height of the building is that we have to find out. So this half gt square, we can say it is h minus 25 only. So I can say h minus 5 that is equal to 10t plus h minus 25. So h will get cancelled. So I can say 25 minus 5 that is equal to 10t. So 20 equals to 20. So t will be equal to 2 seconds. T is equal to 2 seconds. Now therefore h we have to find height. So therefore h minus 25 that is equal to half gt square. Is half into 10 into t square. 10 into 2 square. 2 square. So 2 to the 4. So it means h will be equal to 25 plus 20 that is equal to 45 meters. So 45 meter is the height of the building. So option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told the engine of a train moving with uniform acceleration. The engine of a train moving with uniform acceleration passes the signal post. It it passes the signal post with velocity u, and the last compartment with velocity v. The velocity with which the middle point of the train passes the signal post is how much? So it means that let's say its length of the train is L. So the when the displacement of the train is L, when the displacement of the train is L, then the final velocity equals to V. Then final velocity is V, and its initial velocity is U. Its initial velocity is U. So when its displacement will be equal to L by 2, then the velocity V1 will be how much? That has been asked. Since why? When the middle point of the train will pass the signal post, um, when the engine of the train will pass, then it will have its initial velocity u, and when its last compartment will pass, then its velocity is v. And so when it will cover the length L, and when the middle point of the train will pass the signal post, then its displacement will be half of its length, and then its velocity will be how much? That has been asked. So therefore we know that v square equal to u square plus 2as. So here it moves with uniform acceleration, so let it be a, let its acceleration is a. So therefore we can say v square equal to u square plus 2al. When the displacement is L, then final velocity is V. And so V1 square that is equal to U square plus 2A into L by 2. So which is U square plus AL. So that we have to find out. So from here, so therefore from here I can say 2AL that is equal to V square minus U square. So AL that will be equal to V square minus U square by 2. So now therefore V1 square that is equal to U square plus AL. U square plus AL. So that will be equal to U square plus V square minus U square by 2. So that will be equal to V square by 2 plus U square minus U square by 2. So that will be equal to V square by 2 plus U square by 2. That is equal to V square plus U square by 2. And therefore the velocity V1 will be square root of V square plus U square by 2. square root of v square plus u square by 2. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told if the velocity time graph has the shape A, M, B, what would be the shape of the corresponding acceleration time graph? So from A to M, we have uniform deceleration. So from the acceleration time graph here, it is having negative acceleration, and then from M, it is having a uniform positive acceleration. So it means the graph will be option C. Option C is the correct answer. Here it is told a particle is moving with constant acceleration A. Following graph shows v square versus x plot. The acceleration of the particle is. So if you have v square versus x graph, then its slope, then the slope of v square versus x graph, the slope of v square versus x graph is, that will be dv square by dx, dv square by d by dx of v square. So that will be equal to 2v dv by dx, 2v into dv by dx. So that is equal to twice of the acceleration. So therefore twice of the acceleration, that is equal to the slope of the v square versus x graph. So therefore its slope, that will be equal to, here since the graph is a straight line, so it is having a constant slope. Straight line means it is having, so it means the slope is constant. So therefore the slope will be given as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So we can take any 2 points here on the graph. Let's say we take the point C. Point C will be 30, 80. Since x value is 30 and v square value is 80. Similarly, we can take the point A. Point A is 10, 40. Since x value is 10 meter and v square is 40 meter, 40 meter per second whole square. So therefore the slope is given as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So y2, so it is 80 minus 40 by 30 minus 10. So this much meter per second square. So this will be equal to 40 by 20. So that is equal to 2 meter per second square. So therefore twice of the acceleration is 2 meter per second square. So therefore acceleration is 1 meter per second square. The acceleration is 1 meter per second square. 1 is the answer. Then here it is told if the velocity of a body is related to the displacement x as v equal to 5000 plus 24x meter per second, and the acceleration of the body is. Now from here we can say v square will be equal to 5000 plus 24x. Now if we uh, differentiate both sides with respect to x, then we will get d by dx of v square, that is equal to 24. Now d by dx of v square is 2v dv by dx, that is equal to 24. It means v dv by dx is equal to 12 meter per second square. So it means the acceleration, as we know, it is v dv by dx, that is equal to 12 meter per second square. So the answer is 12. And here it is told two spherical balls having equal masses with radius 5 centimeter each are thrown upwards along the same vertical uh, direction, the same vertical direction at an interval of 3 seconds with the same initial velocity of 35 meter per second, then these balls will collide at a height of. So one ball is thrown at t equal to 0 with an initial velocity u. and another ball is thrown also at t equal to 3 seconds with the same initial velocity u, where u is 35 meter per second, then at which height they will collide. It means when the first ball will reach the same height, this at the same height the second ball will also reach at the same time t. At time t, they both will reach the same height. So their displacements will be same. So S1 I can say, so at time t equal to t, I can say S1 will be equal to S2. So now S1 that is equal to S1 means the displacement of the first ball in time t. So G is acting vertically downwards. So that will be ut minus half gt square, means G is acting vertically downwards, and we are taking the vertically upwards as positive direction of y-axis. And S2 will be equal to u into t minus 2, no, t minus 3, since it it starts at t equal to 3 seconds. So u into t minus 3 minus half g into t minus 3 whole square. So S1 will be equal to S2, then they will collide at which height that we have to find. So now S1 will be equal to S2 at time t equal to t. So therefore it means that ut minus half gt square, that should be equal to u into t minus 3 plus half no minus half g into t minus 3 whole square, minus half g into t minus 3 whole square. So therefore I can say ut minus half gt square, that is equal to ut minus 3u minus half g into, this will be t square plus 9 minus 6t minus 2ab. So this will be ut minus half gt square equals to ut minus 3u minus half gt square minus 9 by 2g plus 6tg by 2. So 3 ut will cancel, and half gt square also will cancel. So then we will get that 3gt, that is equal to 3gt, that is equal to 3u plus 9 by 2g. So therefore t will be equal to 3u by 3g plus 9g by 2 into 3g. So g will cancel here, 3 will cancel here, 3 is a 9. So it means t will be equal to u by g plus 3 by 2. So u by g, u is 35, g is 10. G is 10 plus 3 by 2, which is 1.5. So this is 3.5 plus 1.5, that is equal to 3, 4, 5, 5 seconds. So at t equal to 5 seconds, they will meet. The two balls will collide. The two balls will collide at t equals to 5 seconds. So therefore the height, at which height they will collide, has been asked. So that height will be equal to S1 or S2, same. So H will be equal to ut minus half gt square at t equal to 5. So that will be equal to u, that is 35 into 5 minus half into 10 into 5 square. So this will be 2 5s of 10. This will be 35. So this will be 5 into 35 minus 25. So this is 5 into 10, that is equal to 50 meters. So at a height of 50 meters, the two balls will collide. So the answer is 50. Now here it is told a swimmer wants to cross a river from point A to point B. Then line AB makes an angle of 30° with the flow of the river. Magnitude of velocity of the swimmer is same as that of the river. A swimmer wants to cross a river, has to cross this river from point A to point B. Then line AB makes an angle 30 degree with the flow of the river. Magnitude of velocity of the swimmer is same as that of the river. The angle theta with the line AB should be so that the swimmer reaches point B. So this is the direction along which he has to swim. The This is the direction at which he has to swim. So then we can say that this is theta. This is theta plus 30. So let's say here we can say, let's say the velocity of the swimmer, that is same as the velocity of the river flow, that is equal to V, suppose say. Then the velocity of the river flow is V and velocity of the swimmer is V again here. So the resultant velocity is coming along this direction. What would be this angle that has been asked? So we can say this resultant velocity will be equal to V cos theta plus V sine 30 degree. Since its component along this will be V sine 30 and its component along this will be V cos theta. So the perpendicular component, this is V sine theta and this is equal to V sine 30, V sine 30 degree. So therefore, it means these two should cancel. These two should cancel, then only the resultant will come along the line AB, along the line AB. So V sine theta, that should be equal to V sine 30 degree. So therefore, this theta also should be equal to 30 degree. So the angle theta with the line AB should be 30 degree only so that the swimmer reaches the point B. Then here it is told three particles P, Q, and R are moving along the vectors A equals to I cap plus J cap, B is equal to J cap plus K cap, and C equal to minus I cap plus J cap respectively. They strike on a point and start to move in different directions. Now, particle P is moving normal to the plane which contains vectors A and B. Similarly, particle Q is moving normal to the plane which contains vector A and C. The angle between the direction of P and Q is cos inverse 1 by root x. Then the value of x is. So now the motion, here it is told the motion of the particle P the particle P after collision is along the vector A cross B, I can say. Since why? Since A cross B is a vector which is normal to the plane which contains A and B. And similarly, the motion of the particle Q after collision is along A cross C. Since why? It is told that Q is moving normal to the plane which contains A and C, and A cross C is also a plane which is a which is A cross C is also a vector which is normal to the plane which contains A and C. Now, the angle in between the direction of motion of P and Q. So the angle in between P and Q, let's say angle in between P and Q. Let's say I call this is P vector, this is Q vector, and this is angle theta. Then cos theta we can say that will be equal to P dot Q by magnitude of P into magnitude of Q. And if that is equal to 1 by root x, since why here it is told that theta equal to cos inverse 1 by root x, so it means cos theta is 1 by root x. So this is equal to 1 by root x. Then x we have to find out. So now A cross B, now vector A is given as I cap plus j cap, and B vector that is given as j cap plus k cap, and C vector is given as minus I cap plus j cap. So now therefore A cross B that we have to find. So that will be equal to I plus j cap cross j cap plus k cap. So now we can say that I cross j that is equal to k cap plus I cross k. So the rule is I j k. So if I cross j that is equal to k, j cross k is equal to I, and k cross I equal to j. So I cross k that will be equal to minus j, and plus j cross j that will be 0, and j cross k that is equal to I. That is I cap minus j cap plus k cap. This is A cross B. And A cross C we have to find. So that is I cap plus j cap cross minus I cap plus j cap. So I cap cross minus I cap that is 0 plus I cap cross j cap that is k cap plus j cap. No, this is minus of j cap cross I cap that is minus k cap plus j cross j that is 0. So that is 2k cap. Now, therefore, cos theta that is equal to P cross Q, P dot Q. So P is A cross B, B dot A cross C divided by magnitude of A cross B into magnitude of A cross C. So this will be now A cross B that is I cap minus j cap plus k cap dot 2k cap divided by now magnitude of A cross B that will be equal to square root of 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square into into magnitude of A cross B will be 2. So this will be equal to 2 since k dot I is 0 and k dot j is also 0, but k dot k is equal to 1. So this will be 2 by 2 root 3. So 2 will cancel. So this is equal to 1 by root 3. So therefore 1 by root x that is equal to 1 by root 3. So it means that x is equal to 3. So therefore the value of x is 3. 3 is the answer. Then here it is told that a person is swimming with a speed of 10 meter per second at an angle of 120 degree with the flow. a person is swimming with a speed of 10 meter per second at an angle of 120 degree with the flow. Okay, 120 degree with the flow. So it means, let's say the river is flowing like this, and he is swimming at an angle of 120 degree with the flow, with a speed v. The the velocity of the person vp, that is 10 meter per second, and reaches to a point directly opposite to the other side of the river. So he reaches exactly here. The speed of the flow is x meter per second, speed of the river flow vr. The value of x to the nearest integer is, now this is 120 degree, it means this is 90. Now this will be 30 degree. So it means this is the velocity of the river, this is the velocity, this will be, I can say this is vp sine 30, and this will be vp cos 30. So now the resultant speed of the person, that should be vp cos 30 along j cap only. It means uh, which is normal to the river flow, and along the river flow, the resultant velocity, the component of the resultant velocity should be 0. The the component of the resultant ve- velocity along the direction of the river flow, that should be 0 only, since it is told that the swimmer reaches a point which is exactly opposite to the other side of the river. So therefore it means vp sine 30, that should be equal to vr. So therefore 10 into 1 by 2, that should be equal to vr, that is x. So x will be equal to 5. So the value of x is 5. 5 is the answer. Then here it is told a swimmer can swim with velocity 12 kilometer per hour in still water. Water flowing in a river has a velocity 6 kilometer per hour. The direction with respect to the direction of the flow of river water he should swim in order to reach the point on the other bank just opposite to his starting point is. So if he has to reach exactly opposite to a point on the other bank which is exactly opposite to his starting point, then he should swim at an and okay, so let's say he should swim at an angle theta with the river flow. So the velocity of the river flow is 6 kilometer per hour, and his velocity is 12 kilometer per hour. Then this angle will be theta minus 90. Let's we call this as angle alpha. Suppose we can call this as angle alpha. This is alpha, so therefore theta will be 90 degree plus alpha, obviously. So it means this component will be 12 cos alpha, and this component will be 12 sin alpha. Now since the resultant velocity of the swimmer, that will be equal to 12 cos alpha j cap plus 12 sin alpha minus 6 I cap. Now since he should reach the point exactly opposite, of- which is exactly opposite on the on the other side of the river, so it means the component of the resultant velocity along the direction of flow, that should be 0. So therefore 12 sin alpha, that should be equal to 6. So therefore sin alpha, that is equal to 6 by 12, that is half. So it means alpha equal to 30 degrees. So angle theta should be 90 degree plus 30, that is equal to 120 degrees. So it means that the direction with respect to the direction of the flow of river water he should swim in order to reach the point on the other bank just opposite to his starting point, that should be 120 degrees. So 120 is the answer. Okay, so hope all of you understood the solutions of all these questions based on the previous year JEE Mains exam on the chapter units and uh, on the chapter m- m- motion in a straight line. Still any doubts if you have, then please write that in the comments. We shall obviously clarify them. And please install our Sapiens education application, where we shall upload some important questions based on the previous year exam. So thank you everyone. Bye.